Hello, I'm Phil Ernest, and I'm on the Barret Stoddard Trail near Mount Baldy. Today, I will be hiking in the San Gabriel Mountains and showing you the importance of a coo-wee. To find the trailhead, on the 210 freeway, exit Baseline Avenue. Then go north on Padua, turn right on Mount Baldy Road. After coming out of the second tunnel about a half a mile up the road on your right-hand side, you'll see a sign posted. Go down the ramp and you will arrive at the parking lot. If you don't find any parking in this area, there is more in the back. If you like this type of content, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. Since this is my first time on this trail, I thought I would do an exploratory hike first to familiarize myself with the area. So I'll head on down the asphalt trail in search of the creek that has a running waterfall. And there it is, the bigger waterfall. Unfortunately, it is outside of the view. See that white water? That's where the bigger waterfall is, but unfortunately, it's outside of the view of my camera, so I'm not able to bring you any video of it. Now that my mission has been accomplished to find the waterfall, I'm going to continue heading on down the asphalt trail to see what other interesting forms of nature I'll come upon along the way. You are looking at a California native yucca plant. It is a very common plant in these mountains. This is a yucca plant in full bloom. Starting the hike later in the day offers shade along this asphalt trail. As I continue to enjoy my walk in the shade, up in these mountains is where the Barret Stoddard Trail is that I will be doing later. After about 20 minutes of hiking past the waterfall, the advantage of the shade from the mountain is no longer there. So now I'm mostly hiking in direct sunlight, and with the shrubs being a little overgrown, it is making it a little challenging to continue on down the trail. So I realized this was as good as it was going to get. So I decided to call a day for this trail and start to head on back up the trail to the Barret Stoddard Trail. The Barret Stoddard Trail is mostly in direct sunlight, so I highly encourage you to bring the hiking essentials: water, sunglasses, hat, and sunscreen. You'll be thankful you did. Now that I'm almost back to the parking lot and ready to start the hike, let's take an aerial view of the parking lot to where the fire road begins. As you see, the parking lot is to the left, and right on up the blue line is where the fire road is. Now that we've established where the hike begins, let's take a look at the trail itself. As you can see, there's a lot of winding turns along the way. The good thing about this hike is it is an up and back hike, which minimizes the chances of getting lost. It is 3 miles each way, total of 6 miles. The elevation gain is 1,204 feet. On a difficult scale of 5 being the most difficult, this hike is rated a 2.5. One of the questions I get asked the most whenever talking about different hikes is, are hiking poles necessary for this hike? And I would answer it this way. I like to use my hiking poles if nothing more than just for balance itself. You never know when you may hit a loose rock and you'll be sliding over the edge. But to answer the question directly as far as steepness, the last part of this hike is steep, so yes, I would advise hiking poles to help you get up that steeper part of the hike to get to the summit. As you begin hiking on the gravel road, you'll see a fork up ahead. Stay left at the fork and continue towards the cabins. About 3/4 into the hike, you'll come to the famous gingerbread house, as the locals know it as. This place has some very interesting history to it. I will get to that in a moment. The Lord helps those who help themselves, but Lord help anybody caught helping themselves around here. So please be advised, the people around these parts, they mean business. People do live here, so make sure to be quiet and respectful while passing through. As you pass by the cabins and approach the 1 mile mark of the hike, you'll see a closed gate. Pass by the gate and continue hiking up the hill on the fire road. And now I would like to get back to the story that I teased earlier about the gingerbread house. In the mid-2000s, there was a large fire in this area from Upland to Mount Baldy. There's 30 cabins in this area up here, and the firemen pretty much figured that the fire was going to wipe everything out, the cabins included. So they pretty much told the cabin owners that you need to leave the area. They pretty much all agreed they would do it, except for the owner of the gingerbread house, who dug his heels in saying, "Hell no, I won't go." So in order to avoid a big uproar with the cabin owners, the fire department decided to send a few fire trucks up in the area to protect the cabins as well as the stubborn cabin owners who refused to leave. As luck would have it, it was a big success as the fire did not destroy the cabins, and the gingerbread house owner was looked upon by the locals as a folk hero for rallying them around and saving their cabins. So that story right there pretty much explains why I said earlier, please be very respectful and quiet while walking past these people's property. As you approach the 2.5 mile mark of this hike, keep your eyes open for a side trail that leads to Stoddard Peak. You'll be leaving the fire road behind for a cross-country path through the brush. It's important to note that the first peak you see is one of 2 false summits on your way to Stoddard Peak. And now a view from high above the mountain looking down on the valley below, getting very close to the summit. We're now at the second false summit, and beyond those rocks is the summit. When you see this sign, you'll have made it to the summit of Barret Stoddard Peak. Congratulations. I will now demonstrate for you a coo-wee. Once you've enjoyed enough time at the summit, you can return using the same route back to the Trailhead parking area. Be sure to mind your footing as you ascend and descend the rocky outcrop on the second false summit, as it can be a little tricky if you're not paying close attention. Now, I would like to finish up by telling you my story about the coo-wee and its usefulness. Several years ago, when I first took up hiking, I met this retired doctor from Australia in our hiking group. It was he who introduced me to the coo-wee. The usefulness of a coo-wee is that it does not echo whenever you're in a canyon situation. Why is that important? So, in case you need a medical emergency and you need the medics to get to you by doing a coo-wee, they will be able to find and pinpoint you a lot easier than if you screamed help or anything else, where it would just echo in the canyon and it would make it much more difficult for them to find you. So I would hope the takeaway that you get from this video at least is the importance of a coo-wee and when to use it. My overall impressions of this hike was very good. It is a nice, quiet trail with plenty of nice views. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Total hiking time spent, 2.5 hours. If you like this type of content and would like to see more of it, please hit the subscribe button. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like button. I leave you now with a view of the San Gabriel Mountains near Mount Baldy. Thank you for watching.